In today's video, I'm going to share not just tax strategies, but a frame of mind that I want everyone watching who's 5 to 10 years out from retirement to adapt, because it's going to transform the quality of your retirement, how much you can spend, and it's going to help you accomplish more of your financial goals. You know, we work with a lot of folks who have saved really diligently and they have plenty for retirement, but unfortunately, 80 to 90% of it is in pre-tax retirement accounts. So these are folks that have really great wishes, right? They want to gift to their kids and grandkids. They want to travel. They want to get to charity. But when 80 to 90% of your net worth is pre-tax and every dollar you pull out is going to be taxed as ordinary income, those goals lose a lot of momentum. You can't just pull from your accounts at whim when you're in this situation. And that's exactly why I'm making this video today, to help you get ahead of this issue. And I promise there's a ton of value in it. Everyone watching can learn something, so I encourage you to stay through to the end. If you're new to the channel, hi, I'm Julia, Certified Financial Planner and Managing Director of URS Advisory. And let's get right into it. I've had a few sessions with clients lately that really inspired me to make this video. And the first of these was a strategy session with new clients, a husband and wife in their 50s, who have saved really well thus far and are looking to retire in 5 years. They have about $60,000 in high-yield money market accounts, $50,000 in a joint brokerage account, $2 million in pre-tax 401ks and IRAs, and $450,000 in Roth IRAs. One of the husband's questions was around how much they should be converting this year while they bunch their charitable contributions. Now, for those of you who haven't heard of this strategy, if you give to charity, you can bunch your charitable contributions in 1 year to bring your itemized deductions over the standard deduction. And so when you do Roth conversions in that same year, it's a really smart way to maximize tax efficiency. The Roth conversion increases your taxable income, but the larger charitable deduction from bunching can help offset the resulting tax bill. So for example, if a married couple normally gives $15,000 a year, they might instead donate $30,000 in 1 year, either directly or through a donor-advised fund. This enables them to itemize deductions in that year while taking the standard deduction in others. If they also convert $50,000 from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA in the same year, the $30,000 charitable deduction helps reduce their taxable income, thus lowering the taxes owed on the conversion. Pretty cool, right? We definitely want to get more of their savings into Roth accounts, but not by using Roth conversions. Now I want to talk about the difference between taxing the seed and taxing the harvest. So imagine you're a farmer preparing for the growing season. You have two choices. 1, pay taxes now on the seeds before you plant them, or 2, plant the seeds tax-free and agree to pay taxes later on the full harvest. At first, paying tax on the seeds might seem unnecessary. After all, they're just a small bag of potential. But as those seeds grow into acres of golden crops, their value multiplies many times over. If you wait and pay taxes on the harvest instead, you're not just taxed on the original seeds, you're taxed on all of the growth, right? Every bushel, every kernel. And that's likely to be at a much higher tax rate and end up in a much larger tax bill at unknown future tax rates. This is a difference between using a Roth account versus a traditional IRA or 401k. With a Roth, you're paying taxes when the value is small, just like taxing the seeds, and all of that future growth is yours to keep tax-free. With traditional retirement accounts, you defer the taxes, but the IRS will take a cut of everything you've accumulated later, after your account has grown substantially. And unlike a partner, the IRS doesn't help you grow your field, they just show up at harvest time to collect their share. So for long-term planners, it often makes much more sense to tax the seed when the value is small and predictable than to give up a chunk of your much larger harvest in retirement. Now, you might be thinking, but Julia, they want to do Roth conversions now before they retire. Isn't that the right approach to take? And my answer is not for them. You see, both the husband and wife have access to a Roth 401k through their employer, yet neither one of them is using it. In fact, they're both maxing out the salary deferral pre-tax portion of their 401k, so $31,000 per year each, or $62,000 combined. So my question to them is, why not tax the seed instead of the harvest while you're still working? And in this instance, taxing the seed refers to Roth contributions, and taxing the harvest refers to Roth conversions. When you directly contribute to a Roth account, you are only taxing the seed. You're using fresh money, right, that has never been taxed and putting it in to grow tax-free. When you're doing a Roth conversion, you're taking money that you put in plus all of that interest and growth and converting it to a Roth account, paying ordinary income tax on both your seed and, of course, that growth or the harvest. Oh, and I want to make another point. I can't tell you how many smart people I've talked to that believe they are not eligible to contribute to a Roth 401k because they make too much money. Hear me when I say that Roth 401k contributions do not have income limits. You can make $20 million a year and still contribute to your Roth 401k, 403b, or 457 plan. Income limits only refer to Roth IRAs. So everyone that has access to a Roth account within their employer plan is eligible to use this strategy. Not only that, but when you contribute to a Roth 401k, you have the added benefit of dollar cost averaging into the market instead of converting a lump sum at one time. This means that you're reducing emotional investing, right? You're not trying to time the market, and you're smoothing out any volatility by entering the market at different points in time. So sure, you can do Roth conversions at the perfect time, and in our practice, we're always converting during market pullbacks, but you also have the potential to convert at the wrong time, especially if you're doing it yourself. So dollar cost averaging allows you to avoid that potential. This husband and wife only have the opportunity to tax the seed for the next 5 years, because once you retire, you'll no longer have access to this incredible strategy. So if you're in your 50s or even early 60s still working and considering Roth conversions, I want you to instead consider Roth contributions. Remember, you have your whole retirement to do Roth conversions or tax the harvest. Now, keep in mind, this strategy doesn't change the taxation of the Roth conversion, right? They're still going to pay the same amount of tax whether they contribute or convert, but they're getting money into their Roth in a much more efficient way by contributing to their 401ks. And folks, you don't have to go completely 100% Roth contribution. You can split it up, say 50-50 or 75-25. Any small amount that you can get into a Roth account is only going to help you once you retire. This brings me to another client interaction I had the other day, and this is with clients that have known me for 7 years. Eric and I actually used to teach a retirement planning course at local community colleges, and this couple came to our course 7 years ago. And we also used to give an hour free consultation, so they took advantage of that. And when I looked at their net worth, just via tax type, I noticed that the lion's share of their net worth was in a pre-tax 401k, the husband's pre-tax 401k, and actually the wife had some pre-tax IRAs as well. Now, they did have a brokerage account, which I was glad for, that they, regularly contributed to and invested in, but they had no Roth accounts. And the first piece of advice that I had for them was to diversify their tax landscape by maybe doing a split contribution into their 401k. We did the math and realized that this would not push them into a higher tax bracket. And so I recommended that. And I also recommended that because they were on a high deductible health plan, that they begin maxing out a health savings account to pay for medical costs in retirement. So for those of you that are not aware, health savings accounts are the only triple tax exempt account that exists. They are highly efficient, the most tax efficient account. Basically, you can deduct $95.50 if you're over age 55 and you have a family plan. You can contribute $95.50, get that above the line deduction. Then that money will grow tax-free as you invest it. And then you can pull it out later in retirement tax-free. So it's like a Roth account on steroids. So I asked them to both do the split contribution as well as doing that HSA to help relieve some of the taxes paid on the Roth conversion itself. So if you guys can think about this, let's say that you're going to split your Roth contributions in your 401k or split your contributions between Roth and pre-tax. And the maximum in 2025 is $31,000, right? So let's say you put $15,500 in the Roth and $15,500 in the pre-tax portion. If you contribute $95.50 to your HSA account, well, then you're not going to pay ordinary income tax on that whole $15,500 going into the Roth, right? It'll only be about $6,000 that you're paying ordinary income tax on. So it kind of relieves that Roth 401k contribution to a certain degree. So if you're in the 24% tax bracket, that's about a $2,300 savings this year. Plus, you're planting that seed to grow tax-free in the years to come. So back to the couple, right? They came in for a premium retirement roadmap last November of 2024 because they were ready to retire. And much to my delight, they had actually followed my advice. So they didn't just do a 50-50 split. They actually did 100% Roth 401k contributions to the max. They also maxed out their health savings account. And so when I looked at their net worth by tax type in November of last year, they had $2 million between cash and a brokerage account. They had $1.9 million in pre-tax accounts between their 401ks. And they had almost $1 million in Roth accounts within their 401ks. So that is an awesome tax type split. And when I plugged their information into our tax planning or distribution software to see if Roth conversions would benefit them now or in the future, there was no strategy that looked better than them just pulling by conventional wisdom. So here you can see their tax heat map. And kind of let me explain what this actually is, right? So this shows the various ways to pull out income from your investments and how much tax you're going to pay over your life, as well as your income and your net legacy estimated amounts, right? So the first one is the taxable, tax-deferred, tax-free. This is just conventional wisdom. This is where you pull from your cash or your brokerage accounts first, your pre-tax accounts second, and your tax-free Roth accounts last. We can see that the taxes owed over their lifetime would be around $513,000. And then you can see the net income and net legacy, as well as their average tax rate, which is 10.05%. So as we scroll down the list, we can see, opposing strategies like taking it from pre-tax first, then your Roth account, and then your brokerage account. But what we notice is that none of those opposing strategies produce less overall lifetime taxes than just following conventional wisdom. And if we move lower down this list, you start to see Roth conversion strategies up to marginal tax brackets, as well as Medicare IRMA brackets. And those are crucial thresholds for Roth conversion strategies. And what we notice again is that, there's no Roth conversion strategy that's going to beat them just following conventional wisdom. So because of their diligence, the 7 years leading up to their retirement and saving in different ways tax-wise, they can now rest on their laurels knowing, hey, I did the right thing while I had the income to pay the tax on it. And now I can just pull out from my brokerage or maybe fill up the 12% bracket with my pre-tax accounts and sort of let those Roth accounts continue to grow. They really don't have to do too much. And FYI, this couple said that they didn't even notice paying more taxes when they were working, when they were doing those full-blown Roth 401k contributions, because they had plenty of income to pay for it. It was not a big deal for them to do that. So for those of you watching that are in your 50s, early 60s that have access to a Roth 401k and a health savings account, please take advantage of it. It's going to maximize how much you can spend in retirement. It's going to greatly increase your chances of being able to gift and, give to charity and be able to spend just as much as you possibly can. So now that you're aware of the mindset behind these tax strategies and a different way of thinking, you can now apply this directly to your own retirement plan. And if you're within 5 years of your own retirement and you want a bona fide bulletproof plan, click the link in the description below to learn how we help our clients retire well. And I'll see you next time.